Hey guys, if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you either came from my ignition timing video or you got to do ignition timing yourself, and or you just got one of these from the auto parts store, either rented or bought it, but you don't know how to use it and you need to set your timing. So hopefully this video will clear some of that stuff out for you, and by the end of it you'll be using one of these like a pro, or at the very least as well as I can use it, which isn't quite there yet. But anyways, stay tuned. Second thing you'll need is a timing light. Any old timing light will do. This is just a cheapo one from Harbor Freight. One thing I will mention is make sure the dial is on 0 if that's what you're doing, and just pay attention to where this dial is before you make your reading and make an adjustment based off of the wrong thing. I'll explain how to use it in the video. And then this clamp here is a little bit finicky. You want to make sure it's not touching any other spark plugs or near any other spark plugs, and you want to make sure that this is on top, resting on top of the wire, kind of like that kind of deal, and not this way, because I believe the mechanism that reads it, this little magnet, needs to be resting on it, and that gravity seems to help it a lot. Gives you much more consistent readings. Sometimes the timing will jump around a bunch and you won't be getting a consistent reading. That's usually because something's up with the setup here. Other than that, you just need a basic set of hand tools and you should be able to do this just fine. On this Ford, it's a 1/2-inch distributor clamp bolt. So real quick, I'm going to show you how to use one of these guys. Basically, you have 3 connections that you need to make. Positive and negative on your battery. Make sure you don't mix those up. And then you got to find your #1 spark plug. So in the case of a 351 Windsor, which is the engine here, I believe the 302 and the 5.0, that's the same engine by the way, are the same as far as spark plug layout and everything. But your #1 cylinder is the closest, if you're facing the engine from the front of the car, it's the closest cylinder to you on the passenger side. So that's cylinder #1, and you just follow that spark plug lead, typically to the distributor. That's the easiest place to do it. And then in this case, I like to find a little bit of space, because like I said, this thing's kind of finicky. So I found the best way to get accurate readings is to have the C portion on top and the clamping portion that slides underneath it. That way this kind of gravity sort of assists this, because I believe the thing that's reading the signal is in the C portion. And I kind of have this wire tucked out of the way. This is a vacuum line, not a plugged wire, so that way this thing is not going to pick up a signal from any of these other spark plugs. And this wire trailing I kind of have resting up here. That way, again, it's not going to pick up signal, hopefully, because you see that big piece of plastic is going to insulate it from most of those wires. So this is the ideal setup here with this. It's going to give you a more accurate signal. It's not going to jump around as much. Now, in my case on a van, the best viewing point is to kind of come towards the battery side and look down here. What you're looking for is this little funky shaped thing that in my case is super greasy and dirty. And thankfully you can see some timing marks on there. That's those little slits. Now, I went ahead and ground those out a little bit thicker, just because I'm silly, and that's not a good idea to do because I could potentially throw off your balance. Now, I didn't cut really much out of there. I haven't noticed much of a difference. The engine isn't running rougher or anything, but still a bad idea. The stock mark should be good enough, and if you have to, you can get some timing tape. If I were to do this again, I would have done it with a fine tip paint marker instead of grinding. Now again, this isn't a van. You might have more space in a pickup truck, but the distributor is right here, and your distributor clamp is right there at the base. And if you have a 351 Windsor or a 302, it's probably going to be a 1/2-inch bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen that and not remove it all the way. I'm going to keep a little bit of tension, but just enough to where I can rotate that distributor in and out. And then I'm going to go ahead and start the engine. Now, super important, make sure none of these wires are going to get caught up by the alternator or the belt or anything else in here. So here I am back at the viewing point I mentioned earlier, and make sure to have your dial set to 0. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger with this pointed at that timing mark. And as you can see, I don't know how well you can see that. The shutter might be off, but basically it's flashing in response to those marks. Again, don't know how well you can see that, but so right here is just a still frame of what we were just looking at, and you can see that I have the 0-degree mark, the 10-degree mark, and the 20-degree mark with arrows pointing to them on the harmonic balancer. And you have this bracket right here, that kind of funny looking metal plate with that piece highlighted in yellow there. That is basically your indicator arrow. Now where that's pointing right now is going to tell you where your timing is at. So if our 10-degree line is here, and I trace the line from the top of that bracket, it means we're at about 11 to 12 degrees. So again, when that light flashes, that bracket with the red line on top of it is going to line up with one of the timing marks on the harmonic balancer indicated by the blue arrows. Wherever that lands is where your timing is at. That's how you know.
Time it flashes, that little line is corresponding with the mark, and in this case it looks like 10 degrees. That little white blotch you're seeing underneath there is the 0 mark, and you can see it's kind of shining right on that line, so I know I'm at 10 degrees base with no mechanical or vacuum advance. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm pointing the light right at the harmonic balancer, and I'm just going to rotate that. I'm going to move my dial to match where 0's at. That looks like 15 degrees. I'm going to back it off a little bit. And this kind of depends on which marks are the clearest for you, but another way you can use these dial backs at least is you can crank it to the timing you want and then rotate the distributor until it's flashing on the 0, and that way it'll just be a little easier than rotating it and checking if some of the marks aren't as visible as others. Hey guys, this is a snippet taken from a longer video about ignition timing and just a general step-by-step how-to on how to do that. So if you did enjoy this and you are interested in that video, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description. Other than that, I thought this just kind of was worth making its own video. I hope you guys enjoyed and hope to help you out. God bless.